Hey, I'm Micah Ravel. And I'm Javer Hassim. Today, we'll be discussing how Jesus fulfilled the Old Testament prophecies about the promised Messiah. Now Micah, let's not get ahead of ourselves. We can't be sure that Jesus was Messiah in the first place. Maybe you're right. However, Jesus did fulfill hundreds of prophecies. According to Josh McDowell in his book More Than a Carpenter, the chances of that happening are around 1 in 10 to the 17th power. That seems pretty crazy to me. It is true that there are hundreds of prophecies pointing towards the promised Messiah. The writers of your Bible would have you believe that this one prophet managed to fulfill all of them. However, there are some prophecies that have yet to be fulfilled. Take, for example, Isaiah 2:2-4, which says that the promised Messiah would bring about a time when all nations would come to Jerusalem to learn about God, and there would be a time of peace. Clearly, that still hasn't happened yet. Jesus clearly did not cause this to happen. At the time, Jerusalem was actually ruled by Romans who were persecuting the Jewish people, even after Jesus died. That's a fair point. However, the New Testament writers said that those prophecies are going to be fulfilled in the future when Jesus comes again. The prophecies he's already fulfilled are pretty impressive as they are, such as being born of a virgin. Isaiah 7:14 says that the Messiah would be born of a virgin. That's only ever happened once in all of history. That Jesus did the impossible just by being born. That seems like a pretty incredible prophecy to me, one that he couldn't have just made up. If it happened once, it can happen again. God has the power to make anything happen. As it is, we can clearly see that Jesus was denying himself. He went against his own word. In Luke 24, Jesus said that everything written about him in the law of Moses and the prophets and in the Psalms must be fulfilled. However, there are a list of prophecies from the prophets that have not yet been fulfilled, such as Ezekiel 40:4-8, which says that the temple will be rebuilt. Since this didn't happen, Jesus must have been lying when he said that everything that was written about him would come to fruition, and that it would all happen through him. No, Jesus was pointing towards the future. He was pointing towards the time when he would come again and fulfill all the prophecies, as they're listed in Revelations. He fulfilled all the prophecies about his life and death, and will fulfill the remaining prophecies in his second coming. But there's no saying that he will. If he wasn't the Messiah, then he won't have a second coming, and therefore the prophecies won't be fulfilled. Therefore, we still have to look forward to a Messiah who will actually fulfill all the prophecies. Not so. You see, the list of prophecies Jesus actually fulfilled is astounding, and statistically impossible. I mean, even despite these prophecies, Jesus wasn't proven to be Messiah, then what will be enough? If fulfilling hundreds of prophecies wasn't enough, then what is? Well, that's a fair point. But Jesus just wasn't the king he was supposed to be. Without scientific proof that he really was the Messiah that we've all been waiting for, all we've got is a circular argument as we both wait for the coming of a true Christ. I don't believe that's the case. As I referenced earlier, the chances of this ever happening again are 1 in 10 to the 17th power. Jesus did the impossible. If that's not enough, then what will be for you? It's a matter of faith at this point, since all the evidence is stacked. In the end, it's a choice. Will you choose to believe the evidence, or will you choose to deny it all?